talking about Agni, Hindu god of fire. I'll be breaking down his ability kit to its entirety, all the bits, tricks, and things that make him tick. Agni is a part of the mage class in Smite, so he deals magical damage, and being part of that class gives him passive power as he levels up, maxing out at 40 power at level 20.
Time to burn!
So jumping straight into his passive, Agni's passive is called Combustion. It allows Agni to attack with his autos to achieve more damage with his abilities. When auto-attacking a minion, it provides 1 stack of his passive, while auto-attacking a god, it provides 2 stacks of his passive. When his passive is full at 4 stacks, upon hitting a god with his 2 or 4 Flame Wave or Rainfire respectively, upon using your next ability, the extra damage ticks every 0.5 seconds for 3 seconds. The extra damage for 1 tick equaling 5 base damage plus 8% scaling from your magical power, or for a total damage of 30 base damage plus 48% scaling of your magical power. For the most part, this passive, you don't need to worry about it, but just make sure to hit your abilities with your passive active, as it'll provide the most sizable benefit. But I'm sure hitting your abilities is the plan anyways. To gain the most from this passive, you want to use it on your ultimate, Rain of Fire. So you have the potential to hit the most amount of targets, as it has a much bigger area than Flame Wave, applying that tick damage to all targets hit from Rain of Fire.
Fuel for the fire!
Agni's first ability, which is called Noxious Fumes. Agni places a circle on the ground that persists for 10 seconds, doing damage every 1 second to anyone who steps inside the area. If Agni uses any of his abilities on Noxious Fumes, the gas explodes, dealing damage in the circle area and stunning anybody inside for 1 second. The gas tick damage for 1 tick maxes out at 50 base damage plus 5% of your magical power. But if left down for its total duration, it does a total of 500 base damage plus 50% of your magical scaling. If it has exploded at any point during the duration, the damage maxes out at 100 base damage plus 20% of your magical power, and a max stun duration of 1 second.
Ignite!
Agni's second ability is called Flame Wave. This ability sends a wave of flames in front of Agni in a rectangle. It does damage and can ignite noxious fumes if the circle is touched by any part of the flame wave. This ability's damage maxes out at 320 base damage plus 65% of your magical power. While playing Agni, you want to save this ability for team fights or when you can enter a safe range to use this ability, as it doesn't have the longest of ranges, unlike most mage poke abilities. Agni's third ability is called Path of Flames, which is a quick dash forward that leaves a trail of flames in your path where you dashed for, dealing damage every half second and lasting for a total of 3 seconds. If someone steps through the flames, they're damaged and set aflame for 2 seconds. Agni is immune to being knocked up while dashing, and this ability can ignite noxious fumes if the circle is touched by any part of the flames. When you hit someone with the path, a single tick does 60 base damage plus 15% scaling from your magical power. If someone is lit on fire for 2 seconds, it deals 240 base damage plus 60% scaling from your magical power. This single ability can control whether you are able to aggress or flee safely, and is Agni's most important ability, easily able to reach levels of damage equal to Agni's ultimate on a much shorter cooldown. Knowing when to go in safely and dump your kit onto someone versus saving it to possibly escape from a dangerous scenario is the most beneficial thing you can learn while playing Agni. I would recommend going in as much as possible, aggressing onto the enemy as much as possible. It is much easier to tune down aggression than it is to work it back up. Agni's fourth and final ability is his ultimate. It is called Rain Fire. Rain Fire is a channeled ability that locks you in place for 1.5 seconds. When a Rain of Fire is cast, Agni launches a bomb in the air and places a bomb drop location on the ground, but you are still able to move your camera. After it is done being channeled, the bomb drops to the ground, dealing damage in that area. This ability can ignite noxious fumes if the circle is touched by any part of the bomb. Agni can have a total of 3 charges of this ultimate available at any given time, with a base cooldown of 18 seconds. The damage of this ability maxes out at doing 300 base damage plus 65% scaling for magical power. A good idea to use this ultimate is to just use it as much as possible. The cooldown is shorter than any ultimate in the game, and it's only a little longer than your normal cooldowns. But the damage is massive, so whatever you need to use it for, don't feel bad if you use it like any of your other abilities. If you use it to clear lane, if you use it to clear camp, whatever you want to use it for, you can.
You can't blow me out this quickly!
That was Agni's entire kit. So now I will get into some useful tips to help you excel at Agni, as well as how you should be playing Agni in general to maximize his usefulness.
Everywhere I go, I leave flames in my wake!
Agni can be strong at any points during the game. He's restricted by his build or by his base damage, meaning whatever time the timer says doesn't determine how much pressure you are able to push against your opponent. Agni is a great combo mage, so as long as you are hitting your abilities, making sure your stun is on point whenever you combo your abilities together, making sure your enemies can't react effectively, you should have an easy time with this god at all points during the game. As to how you can effectively achieve that, starting in the laning phase, we'll get into now.
Like a match, I burn more than once!
Agni is a fighting mage, which means he wants to be aggressive towards his enemies. As such, you will want to be poking your laning opponent after you're able to clear the wave. The best ability to clear the wave, especially early game, is your third ability, Path of Flames, as it has the highest damage out of his abilities at first level. That is what you want to level to combat your foes on the battleground, so you can claim victory over them in the laning phase, using your Path of Flames to clear the wave before your opponent, as even in first level, it should full clear, or close to it. Leveling your Path of Flames first provides you the most pressure in lane, as if you're able to outclear your opponent and get very close to them, you're able to flame wave them, stun them, do anything, just do damage to them, and poke them out, so then they have to leave lane.
A single tree set aflame can cause an entire forest to burn. Come be that tree.
When team fights roll around, after you've beaten and harassed your opponent enough, Agni is a combo mage, as I discussed a while back, with a short ultimate cooldown. So in any given fight, having a fight last just a little bit longer, Agni can recharge his ultimate charges at a faster rate than most other mages. Therefore, he can use one charge of his ultimate to confirm objectives while still having charges of his ultimate to possibly fight the enemy team if a fight takes place. Agni, as a combo mage, can do a lot of those combos relying on his first ability. His Noxious Fumes allows him to stun enemies to set himself up for his other abilities, allowing more easy hit to hit his damage, thus comboing the enemy into more damage.
How hot do I burn? Have you ever seen someone ignite ice?
Because of how power scales with magical autos, auto attacks aren't that high of damage as for magical characters, they only scale 20% of your magical power. To explain what an auto attack cancel is, when auto attacking, there are specific phases to an auto attack. Agni is a short action phase, where the projectile comes out from the character, and a long recovery phase, where he prepares for the next auto attack. Auto attack canceling is still beneficial to Agni's kit, as it just provides him more damage with his abilities through his passive. The easiest ability to auto attack cancel on is his third ability, Path of Flames, and his second ability, Flame Wave.
Feel that burn!
So to look at what a full rotation of your abilities may look like, it would go auto, 3, 1, auto, 2. If you had your ultimate available, a full ability rotation might rather look like auto, 3, 1, 4, 2.
You may be made of fire, but I am fire!
Agni is a very well-rounded god with a lot to learn and understand. If you partake in the purifying fire and choose to learn Agni, pray for destruction above all else. I wish you luck on the battlefield, you two-faced force of nature, so you may take your rightful place among the gods and become the best god you can be.